Hey guys, what is going on? My name is Thornton and welcome back to another video. I have to say I was pretty surprised when I heard that Walmart has their own gaming peripherals that they make with their brand, which is called On. When I heard about it though, I had to go pick them up and see what they had to offer. Today's video, we're taking a look at their mechanical gaming keyboard, and it doesn't have a specific name, it's literally just called their mechanical gaming keyboard. We're gonna take a look at the comfort, build quality, and also the features it has to offer. Without further ado, let's hop right into it. One great thing about this board is the price point that it sits at. For those of you that aren't wanting to pay that premium that some of those name brand boards are gonna command, or maybe you're just getting into gaming and you wanna pick up your first mechanical gaming keyboard, you can find this on either Walmart's website or in the store for only $45. And this is a full-size keyboard, as you guys can see. So like you would expect with the full-size keyboard, you're gonna have your function row as well as your 10 key and your shortcuts. One thing this is lacking though is those dedicated media keys, which is a little unfortunate, but then again, you can't complain with that $45 price point. Out of the box itself, besides just getting the keyboard, which obviously you're gonna get a magnetic wrist rest, which just magnets right to the bottom part of the frame on the keyboard. Then you'll get your CD, which is gonna have your software on it for controlling things like the lighting. And then finally, you're just gonna get a couple instruction manuals to help you get started. Taking a look at the build quality of this board and what it has to offer, it's actually pretty surprising because you do get aluminum top plate, and on their website it is advertised as just aluminum frame, but unless I just really can't tell, it does seem like the bottom is mostly plastic to me, and maybe I'm just crazy and I think that's what it is, but I'm pretty sure that the bottom is plastic and only your top plate's aluminum. But even with that being the case, or at least what I think is the case, it's super solid, and you'll see when I'm putting some pressure on it, it barely has any flex at all. As far as for the cable itself, it is fixed into the back of the board, and it just goes out to your standard USB-A or just a standard USB-N, which then obviously you can plug into the back of your PC. Something unique and what I haven't seen on any other keyboards is it actually has a little routing option on the bottom where you can either run it to the left or the right, maybe depending on what side your PC is on. So that's something interesting, something I've not seen before, but at least it's a cool feature to have included. One other thing you do get an option of is you do have 2 feet on the back of the board, one on each side, and then you can flip those out to adjust the incline if that's something you like for when you're typing. Getting into the performance this board offers, it does use blue OTIMO switches, which have an actuation force of 55 grams, as well as an actuation distance of 2.5 millimeters. And they are guaranteed for 50 million clicks as well, so that's nice to have. But as you'd expect, especially with the blue OTIMO switches, they are very noisy and tactile. And I'll go ahead and give you guys a sound test now just so you can hear it for yourselves, and also compare it to some of the other boards I have in my room right now, and I'll have their switch types up on screen so you guys can hear it and then compare it for yourselves. So as you guys can hear in that sound test, this board is, for me at least, it's really loud. Obviously though, if you're someone who just likes the feeling of tactile switches or the sound of it, then this is definitely gonna be your thing because there is a lot of noise in it. The stabilizers aren't great, and I'm not expecting them to be that great for $45, especially that resonance on that spacebar. Geez, that thing is just so loud. With the headset on, it's a lot more manageable, but as far as just typing in a room, if you have someone else in the room, it's gonna drive them crazy, and it already drives me crazy. So just make sure that you guys like the sound of it. And even on the box itself, it has a little cutout, so if you guys want to go in there and just hit on the switches to hear what they sound like, that's also a good option for you if you want to test it out before you actually bring it home. As far as the lighting and software on the board itself goes, like I mentioned earlier, you do get a disc, and that's going to have your software on it. But if you're like me and you don't have a disk drive with your desktop or your PC, I'll have a link down in the description below if you just want to be able to download it from that. Within the software itself, it is a little outdated. It could definitely use a facelift and maybe some changes to how you use it, but it's fairly straightforward. You're able to adjust all your things such as your lighting with the 16.8 million color choices that RGB gives you, as well as different effects such as things like the rainbow effect, and you're able to decide what side you want to go from. So it gives you a lot of different options. You just have to take some time to familiarize yourself with it, and once you take some time doing that, you're gonna have it all down pat. Along with your lighting controls, you're also able to change things like your polling rate, repeat rate, and delay, as well as macros, so that's always a nice bonus. Overall, I do think this board gives you a fair price for $45, as well as giving you a lot of good choices with the features it offers. Again, my biggest complaints with it are just gonna be the fact that they don't offer a different board size, maybe something like a 60 or 65%, which I do prefer, especially when it is marketed as a gaming keyboard, and you see a lot of companies making those smaller form factor boards that would be nice. As well as the switches and how noisy they are, because Otemu does make other switches such as their reds or browns or blacks, which are just quieter and less noisy than these really pingy blues they offer. So it would have been nice to see some different switch choices that would make it a much more appealing offer for myself at least. If you guys are looking for a board that's about the same price point but maybe a little bit smaller, I would recommend checking out the Red Dragon TKL. If you guys found this video helpful or informative, definitely hit that like button and do consider subscribing. If you have any questions about the board or my experience with it so far, definitely leave it in the comments below and I'll try my best to get back to you quickly and with the best answer I can. I'll see you guys in the next one.